Hey everyone! Okay, so if you have any hater comments, please exit out of the video now. So I'll give you 3 seconds. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I wanted to do a video about weight loss, and I lost 20 pounds in my sophomore year of college after gaining 15 pounds of the freshman 15, and I most recently I lost some weight as well. I want to share with you guys tips and tricks on how I lost weight. I will be honest and say there is not one magic pill you can take to lose weight, but here are some things to help you get there. I think the whole point of weight loss is being able to set a goal and achieving it and doing really whatever it takes to achieve that goal. The most important thing to losing weight is being disciplined and keeping track of everything. So the first thing that you guys need to know is you need to keep track of everything you eat and anything you put in your mouth. So being the crazy person I am, for a week I documented every single thing I put in my mouth. That included even if I had like coffee with a tablespoon of cream, I documented that, and then I put the calorie content of everything I put in my mouth accordingly. So for like coffee with cream, the cream had like 20 calories for a tablespoon. I put the 20 calories on there, and basically I wrote an itemized list of everything I ate. You really should get one of those you can get like a calorie little book, a booklet of calorie books, or you can download different phone apps that will tell you the calorie content of foods. Know what a serving size looks like. For a meat, it is probably the palm of your hand. Know what a cup of vegetables look like. Know what half a cup looks like. Know what serving sizes portions are, and being able to calculate how many calories you're putting in your body every single day. And after a week, I kind of scanned through that list, looked at the calorie contents, looked how many calories I was consuming in a day, and tried to think of how I could cut 200 calories out from my diet. So I think the main thing is to really be honest and take a look at yourself of how you are or what you're putting in your mouth and what that contributes to, and how you can cut some of that off. I think a huge thing you guys need to cut out is soda and any alcoholic beverages. I think I don't drink. If I go to bars, very rarely will I drink. If I do drink, it's something like a gin and tonic because it's very, very light in calories. But I usually don't drink because I feel like it's a waste of calories, to be honest. Alcoholic beverages probably have 300 to 400 calories per drink, and if you drink 3-4 of those a night, that adds up to a lot. And let's say you go out once a week, you know, that adds up to maybe a couple pounds a month, which, you know, is like 24 pounds over a course of a year. It all adds up. So one of the big things is I cut away alcohol from my diet, and I cut away any kind of beverage that wasn't water or coffee, really. I cut out and I was like, okay, I have to get rid of this stuff. And so I looked at my calorie content, and for the first week I cut out 200 calories. So I cut out 200 calories from my diet, and again, I wrote down every single thing I ate. So this included, even if you have a little piece of candy like a Starburst, you need to put that down. If you have a handful of, you know, strawberries, or, you know, popcorn even, or if someone gives you a sample at a grocery store, you need to put everything down, because the thing is that they all add up, you know, to maybe 200, 300 calories a day, and those are things that you could have omitted from your diet, and over time that will equal a pound, 2 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, etc. Like, you have to realize that every little thing counts. And so the first week I basically tried to omit 200 calories, which was fine, wasn't that hard. And what I basically did was I started eating foods that weren't like cooked or processed. So I didn't eat things like spaghetti or pasta or pizza or things that came in meals, because that would be very, very hard for me to calculate the amount of calories in something. So what I ate was basically I ate kashi cereal, or I ate, you know, a serving of chicken with lemon juice, or I ate a cup of spinach with a tablespoon of olive oil, or I ate, you know, a cup of cottage cheese with a cup of strawberries. Like, I ate things that I could measure out the exact calorie content, because there's a lot of foods that are prepared and I just didn't know how many calories it was, and I didn't want to like cheat myself of my goals, so I ate a lot of like boring plain food that was unprepared, right? So I did that for a week, and I went down to probably 1,700 calories every day for a week. And after that, I was getting really intense, and I cut down 200 more calories, so I was at 1,500 calories a week, which I think is probably the minimum most of us should go. And what I did in order to calculate everything I ate is I made a Google Doc, and I had it attached to my phone. So anytime I would eat something, I would write down, or I would type in the food, how many calories it was, and then I'd add it up at the end of the day and kind of calculate how many calories I ate. And I got really good at this, so right now, even now, I know how many calories are in certain foods, because I would always kind of eat the same thing and always check what kind of foods had what calorie content, and I kept doing that for a long time, and so I kind of memorized all the calorie content of a lot of foods I ate. So I think that's really good to do. So I did that, and I was basically down to 1,200 calories a day, which is probably the absolute minimum you should be eating. And 1,200 calories was really difficult because every little thing I ate, even an apple, contributed to those 1,200 calories. So it was kind of like, do I eat this apple, or do I save it for something that is a little bit more like nutritious in terms of calories, or, you know, do I eat this apple or not? And it was kind of this, it was a little, I wouldn't say it's on the verge of an obsessive, but I was I was in kind of this very disciplined mindset of making sure that if I had 1 calorie, that calorie would count, and I would make it count at all costs. Yeah, so I had a Google Doc of it, and I'll show you guys some images now. And it was really funny. I actually looked back at my Google documents from 3-4 years ago, and I actually have all of them written down, so I'll show you guys how crazy it was. So that's the first thing, is just eating, making sure that you're eating foods that you know the calorie content of, keeping track of all of it, and eventually one by one limiting the amount of calories you have every single week. Okay, so now for working out and exercising, I wish I could tell you that you could lose weight simply by buying a shake weight, or buying one of those like lap bands that you put around your waist, and you would be so hot and fit and it would be easy, right? But again, my brand is honesty, and those don't work, okay? If they worked, then we wouldn't have anyone having weight issues, okay? So you guys know that in college I was super overwhelmed, super overloaded. I was just super on fire in college, meaning I didn't have time to do anything. But you know, you make time, and the way I made time is kind of ridiculous. Now looking back at it, I was such an overachiever. So what I basically did was I multitasked while I was working out. So I made flashcards, and I would take a walk around the campus, and I would go through my flashcards of like my notes or studying materials, and I would walk for maybe an hour or two reciting those flashcards, and that would burn maybe 200 to 400 calories for that study session. So it was great because like I would have been studying anyways in college, but instead of, you know, just studying, I was also exercising and working out. So while walking, I was burning calories, and I was learning, and I was, you know, studying. So it was a great multitasking thing. So some people always saw me like with flashcards just walking around talking to myself, and they'd be like, who is this girl? You know, she's kind of crazy. Yeah, so that's what I would do. Sometimes I would record lectures or audiobooks and put them on my iPod, and then I would go for a jog or like a light run and listen to the material through my headphones so I could remember them, and so I would be exercising as well. So it was just like really learning how to multitask, because in college I didn't have time to spare a minute. Seriously, I didn't have time to spare a minute, which is why my videos made in college were so bad, because I didn't have time to edit them, right? The third thing I did was, so this is really fun, I told myself, so I've loved watching makeup YouTube guru videos, right? And I told myself that I couldn't watch them unless I was working out while watching them. So I would go to the gym, and I would go on an elliptical or a Stairmaster, and I would watch all my subscriptions on the elliptical while I was exercising. And it was actually really great because it motivated me to go to the gym, and I had a good time doing it. And sometimes I'd be like, like on the elliptical, like going like this, and then like someone would say something really funny and I'd start laughing and everyone at the gym would be looking at me weird, but it was great. And I told myself, or the only time I'm going to be watching YouTube gurus is when I'm on the elliptical. And I wouldn't let myself go on YouTube any other time except on my iPod. So I actually installed a plugin on my browsers that would not allow me to access YouTube from my normal laptop. I had to go and do it on my iPod, which meant I had to go to the gym. And I think this way of like forcing myself and removing any kind of distractions really helped me go to the gym. And then I also signed up for a lot of classes. I loved, and I still love, spinning workouts. They are so much fun. You guys have to try them. And what I love about them isn't even the workout, but it's just the club music they play. And they play music that you would hear at the club. And they play top 40 mixes, and they're all remashed. And you get a lot of, you know, really hot girls in a spinning room with like really nice bodies, and it just really motivates you to go there and to work out and just be inspired by people who are so fit around you. I think it's really great to put yourself in situations that will be inspirational and positive to what you're trying to achieve. So the spinning instructors at my school were always like super toned, super fit, super successful in whatever they did, and just going there was like very inspirational. So, you know, after I left class, I would remember not to like eat anything bad for me because I didn't want to waste like the workout. But these spinning workouts, like they cut out like maybe 500 calories. They're really good. You always feel so refreshed and great about yourself because you're soaked out in sweat, but you just feel so good about yourself, and they're really fun workouts. I personally, I cannot go running. I can't go on a treadmill. I can't do an elliptical. I have to be multitasking while I'm doing it because my attention span is so short and I get so bored easily. But spinning workouts is really fun because the instructor like changes up the movements and changes up the routines and movements, and the music just gets you going and pumping, and time flies by like that. Most recently, I've been doing a lot of yoga, and I'm actually getting pretty good at it. I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just getting really like advanced at it, and it's just because I really like pushing myself, and I feel like yoga is one of those ways where you can really have a great workout but not feel very drained or not feel like you're a sweat ball at the very end. I love yoga because after I work out, I can continue on with my normal day, whereas for spinning, I get really tired after I spin. But yoga, I just feel like very refreshed and stretched, and my body feels like very long and lean and tall. So try to find out a class or something that would be fun for you, and stick with it, really sticking with it. And I think yoga is a really great workout because you have measurable, attainable goals in yoga. So like you can do one pose, and then you're going to try to go to another pose, and then the next pose and next pose up. So you can almost measure your progress and keep going because you have a goal to achieve in that class. Thanks guys for watching this video. Sorry it's kind of disorganized. It took me a long time to get this up because I really didn't want to put it up because I didn't want people to make fun of me, but then I realized, you know, if it can help people, then so be it. So yeah, I hope you guys are going well with your weight loss journey for the new year, and please comment below if you have any questions or any tips on how you lost weight. See you guys later. Bye my perfect beauties.